One of the things that I really hate is when you have an important day and you make sure that you go to bed early so that you wake up early, but what ends up happening is that you can't fall asleep. In fact, you might be watching this video right now because you tried to Google how to fall asleep quickly. What's also quite frustrating is that when you feel inspired, whether it was because you watched some kind of a movie or a video, you feel like you want to get your life together. You sit out there and start planning your day. You finally found a purpose to pursue. You're motivated, determined. You write down a to-do list and promise yourself that the next morning you are going to follow that plan. You ignore your friends' invitations to hang out, put aside your phone, and go to bed so that you wake up early. You're lying on your bed trying to fall asleep. 5 minutes passes, 10 minutes passes, and you turn around and try every pose. But for some weird reason, you can't fall asleep. Your mind starts remembering all the shit that you have been through, things you thought you have forgotten, but your brain keeps digging and digging to bring up your worst memories. You get so caught between these memories that you forget that you're actually supposed to sleep. After some time, you pick up your phone to check the time. You realize that you have been lying there for an hour. You try to get that off your brain, but your brain isn't a fool. It will remember another nonsense to distract you. Of course, next morning you aren't going to wake up as early as you have promised yourself, neither you're going to follow that little to-do list that you came up with. Your entire plan is ruined because you just couldn't fall asleep last night. You might have to wait for another inspirational moment. In case if that happens again, I've got a solution for you. I've had the exact same problem and I have accidentally found a solution. I remember when I was in college, I was in my dorm room just browsing the internet around midnight and I came across audiobooks. I loved reading books then, but I've never been a fan of audiobooks. For some weird reason, I had a negative opinion about them. However, I thought I would give them a try. Honestly, I was fascinated because I found it much more interesting than actually sitting out there and reading a book page to page. So I lied down on my bed and kept listening. Unfortunately, I fell asleep in 5 or 10 minutes. The next day, I had a long, busy day, but at night when I came back home, I struggled to fall asleep. I was lying on my bed for some time already, and it didn't seem like I was about to fall asleep. So I said, why not listen to an audiobook like last night? I turned on an audiobook, wore my headphones, and believe it or not, I fell asleep immediately. The problem is that your brain can't stop thinking. Even when you are sleeping, it's dreaming, playing around with your memories. So when you're lying down and trying not to think about anything, your brain thinks about whatever crosses its way. Often, you'll find yourself thinking about the last thing you would want to think about at that moment. So you have to give your brain something to concentrate on while trying to fall asleep, instead of remembering your worst memories. Remember how it was when you were a little kid? Your mom would tell you a bad story, and you would fall asleep in between. That's exactly what you need, a bad story. Not necessarily an audiobook, but anything that you could listen to. Just make sure that it's not a movie or something you have to watch. Something that you could listen to while lying on your bed with your eyes closed, like your favorite podcast or an interview. Try it out and let me know how it works with you. Anyways, that's it for today. Thanks guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.